Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to review this Mavic Crossmax SL Pro Thermo shoe. So it's a off-road winter cycling shoe, and Mavic do one called the Ksyrium Pro Thermo shoe, and that's a road shoe, and I'm pretty sure that basically they're the same, except that this is the off-road version and the other is the road version. They look the same. I haven't had the Ksyrium, but they look pretty similar in design other than the bottom. So I think if you've got SPD cleats, you want these. If you've got the SPD-SLs or Look or something like that, then you probably want the others. I'm not 100%, I think that's how it works. So, winter cycling shoe, lots of fastenings. You've got a zip here to zip that bit up. Then you've got velcro around the back here, and then you've also got the boa dial here that lets you dial in these little strings. This is my first boa dial actually, and I was always a bit skeptical because I was like, well, what happens if a shoelace breaks? I just replace it, but what happens if these break? Is that just the shoe dead? But it actually works quite well. It does mean that it's a bit of a faff because you're doing like 3 different things, and so it just takes longer than one fastener, but it does keep the shoe on reasonably well. You can get your foot in, you can do up the zip and do up the velcro, and you can't really get that wrong, and then you can use the dial to dial in exactly how tight you want it, so you can get everything on. And then if in the middle of a ride it's feeling a bit loose, you only have to readjust the dial and that will bring everything else down. And I think most of this is just for like the waterproofing. In terms of winter riding, I get really cold feet, and these are really good. They keep my feet the warmest I've ever had a shoe. I haven't tried loads, but it does work quite well in compared to the other shoes, and especially I've tried other shoes with combinations of socks and overshoes, and this is really the best solution so far. It's pretty warm, it's pretty comfortable. You can fit overshoes over the top of this, and when it's really cold and rainy, that's what I do. I put the boot on, and then I put an overshoe over the top of it, and that's been really nice. Weighting, I don't think it's too bad for a winter boot, which is bound to be quite heavy. It comes in at nearly 600 grams. So compared to like a really lightweight, like my triathlon shoe, that's quite a lot, because these are like 350 grams per shoe. So it's not twice as much, but it's quite heavy. But just compared to these are my Mavic Crossride summer shoes, and these are almost the same weight. There's only 10 grams in it. These are quite heavy. They've got a really chunky sole. But so I don't really notice when I put my winter boots on, because they're pretty much the same weight as my summer shoes, and they feel quite nice and light. Sizing wise, I've got an 11.5. I tend to go up half a size in Mavic. I did the same with my summer shoes, and there's a bit of looseness there. I maybe could have got away with an 11. I'm an 11 in a running shoe. I don't know what I am in like a formal shoe, because I only wear running shoes and cycling shoes. So all I can tell you is my Nike running shoes are all 11s, and with Mavic I went for an 11.5, and I think I could have got away with a bit smaller, but I tend to go up half a size in Mavic. So one of the downsides of these shoes is that they are super expensive. I think the retail price is like £200. You can often get them cheaper than that. I did, but still quite an expensive shoe. For me, I really hate having cold hands and feet when I am out cycling, so I will spend a lot of money to keep them warm, and I'm glad I made this investment, because this finally does keep my feet warm. So it was totally worth it for me. But it probably depends on how annoyed you get by cold feet. If you can suffer cold feet, then they are quite expensive shoes. But if you're happy with them, then they do keep your feet warm, got plenty of grip on the bottom. You can dial in your fitness with all the options quite well. So for me, it's worth going for these. but you probably want to look at the price and look at what else you can get before you dive in. Hopefully that was helpful. If so, then please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more cycling and triathlon videos.